Today is a very exciting day for me because I finally got my Nomad Chamonix Après-Ski palette at the end of last week, and I was finally able to film 3 looks for you. I had to wait weeks for this because they had shipping issues in Europe, so the palette was stuck with the postal service for a very long time, and they just couldn't ship it, and this is why I had to wait a few weeks longer than everyone else in the States to get it. And I'm so happy that I finally hold this in my hands and I'm able to film with it. But let's start from the beginning. My name is Nicole and I love makeup, obviously. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. It's so great to have you. And yeah, I really do love makeup, and especially indie makeup, and that's why I'm so freaking excited for this palette, because look at this amazing color story. It's so pretty, especially these 2/3 of the palette. This is just a color story that I have to love. It's just so good. It's just so good. Definitely was worth waiting for. I'm in love. I'm so in love. Yeah, Nomad Cosmetics is a destination-based indie brand. They base every release they have around another destination. This time they went to France, to Chamonix they get inspiration from these destinations and theme the entire collection or palette around it and the color story that's inside of the palette. And I really love that little detail. And another detail that I really love about this brand is they donate some of their earnings. I don't know. English isn't my first language. I don't know the proper word for this, but I think you know what I mean. They donate some of the money they earn to a cause that has something to do with the destination. And this time is the Inspire Mont Blanc Association. And they do a lot of stuff to help the environment in this region around Mont Blanc, which is the mountain Chamonix is on. I really love that. You also get a little postcard with some of the information that I just told you on it. This palette retails for around 55 euros, should be $49 if I'm not totally mistaken. But Nomad always has some discount codes you can use. They have them with some creators, and I'm very happy to tell you that I have a discount code with Nomad. If you use the code Nicole, you can save 10% on your order. This link is not affiliated, so I will not earn a commission if you use it, but you can just save some money if you order from Nomad, which is really great, and that makes me really excited. Nomad is doing a program where they work together with some smaller influencers. At the next release in March, I'm getting SPR, just the one palette, just the one time, and I'm also getting this code so you can save some money, and I would be very happy if you use my code. It will mean a lot to me. Okay, but with all that out of the way, let's just jump into the first look. I'm so excited to finally be able to use this palette, and for my first look I want to play with the green shades. My first look, I'm starting with the deepest shade right here. I'm taking it on a small brush and I just place it in the outer corner. This is a really lovely forest green shade. If you ask me, it could be a little bit deeper because it's the deepest green in the palette. I just love having very deep and smoky shades. So for this look, I want to make a gradient from the green into this pastel blue right here. So I'm taking this on a flat brush. This is called a Last Call, and I'm putting this in the inner part of my eyelid, and I'm really pressing this into the base so we get a lot of this blue pigment. If I would go in with a lighter hand, this wouldn't be like, you wouldn't really be able to see it because it's just such a light shade, and I'm sure with blending we will lose a lot of the pigment. We definitely need to go in with the same shade layer again to re-intensify it. but I really want to have this gradient from green into this pastel blue, because I love green and blue together. Green and blue to me is just such a pretty color combination. I really love that. Next I'm taking the shade Ski, this mid-toned green, and I'm just using a little bit. I'm using this shade between the pastel blue and the deep green. This shade is way lighter than I would have expected it, so I definitely need to go in with more of the deep green. But it's a very nice shade. Going back in with the deep green shade to really intensify this green. Because as I said, I thought the mid-tone green would be a little bit deeper. So I just need to go in with more of the deep green shade. And I really blend between the mid-toned green and the deeper green. This reminds me of like being in the winter in a forest with evergreen trees and it's just snowing. These colors really scream winter to me and I love it, even though we're now going into spring. But I just love the color combination of blue and green together, and these greens and the almost white pastel blue. I think it's just so gorgeous. So now I'm going back into the pastel blue and I really need to re-intensify it, because with all this blending it got lost quite a bit. I blended the light green into the dark green pretty well, and now I just need to blend the light blue into the green, so we get this really nice transition between those two very different shades. The blend on the eyelid is quite good. It's not perfect, but it's good enough, and it's going to be an all matte look on the eyelid itself. I don't want to have any shimmer there because I just love the way how this looks, and I love all matte looks. But of course on the lower lash line and in my inner corner I will play with some shimmers. But now let's blend the crease. Of course we need to blend there as well, and I'm using the shade Ski to blend dark green. Then I also will use the pastel green to blend the greens out even more. I think this is going to look fantastic. I will just take some time blending out the deeper shade in the crease, and then once again we will go in with some of the deeper green to re-intensify all of this. I love the quality of Nomad shadows, and you can see why, because it's just so easy to blend these shades out. Like, this is no work at all. This is again one of these formulas where I'm like, can it get even better? I don't think so. I quite like this blend, but now I'm going into the pastel green fondue, it's called, and I'm taking it on a super fluffy brush, and I just go around the very edges and yeah, just finish up this blend and make everything look super blended. I love how this looks. So pretty. Now back into the very deep green shade, and I just go into the outer corner, and I really want to re-intensify it a little bit so we get this nice evergreen deep shade back. Of course with blending we lost a little bit of it. Taking the Mont Blanc shade, and I'm putting this in the very outer corner of my lower lash line. Just connected what we did above. With my super tiny blending brush, I'm just blending this green out. So I'm just blending, making it really smoked out, but I'm very much focusing it in the outer part, because in the inner part we are going to put a blue. As always when I film, I tend to overblend on this side because I already did my makeup and I already set my foundation, so I'm going in with my powder foundation on a blending brush, and I'm just going over the green here, so we are wiping away some of the green pigment with the powder foundation. Powder foundation in this case to me is just like an eraser. If you just overdid something, you can get rid of it quite easily with some powder foundation. That's why I have always a powder foundation near me when I do my eye makeup. Very detailed with some more green, so we get the intensity where we want it. I'm already very much in love with this look, but to really finish it up, I want to use this deep blue. It's called Hot Ski. And I'm putting this on a pencil brush, and I'm going to put this on my lower lash line because I want to have a really deep lower lash line, and I want to use some of the shimmers and at the same time keep the eyelid matte to further my fantasy. Like, this is now looking like you're in the evergreen forest with some snow and the night sky. I really love this fantasy. Blending this into the green we applied on the lower lash line, also softening it out with the pencil brush. But I don't want to overblend the shade because I don't want to lose the shimmer too much. I want to blend this a little bit more, and I'm taking the brush I applied the mid-toned green with, and I just go very slightly around the edges of the blue to just blend it out a little bit more. I don't want to overblend it, but I also don't want it to be not blended. So it's just, we need to find a good middle way. I typically don't love deep shimmers like this because I want my mattes to be deep and my shimmers typically to be light to get contrast in my looks. But I think I really like this blue shimmer. I think it adds a lot to this palette. And you know, lately I've been very much into very smoky looks, so this would be a great shade for a smoky look. With blue and the very deep purple shades, I think this would be fantastic. It's exactly how I wanted this to be. For the inner corner, I'm using the very light pastel blue we also have on the eyelid. I'm putting this down first, and then I'm thinking about using one of the topper shades in the inner corner as well. So I'm taking a tiny bit of the Chamonix shade, and I just very slightly tap this over the inner corner just to give it a little bit of sparkle there. I don't want too much, just a tiny bit. Yeah, I think this looks beautiful. This is the finished look. I really love it. I just applied some mascara, a pastel green eyeliner in the waterline, and I actually applied the Chamonix shade as a highlighter, and it's so beautiful. I really love this shade as a highlighter, especially with this look. I think it goes so well together. And I also love it that I applied it in the inner corner because it just, we have this green in the outer corner and then we have this green in the inner corner. I just think it looks so good. And then for lips, I applied my MAC lip liner in Chestnut and my lipstick in Antique Velvet, also from MAC. And I really love this deep brown lip combo, especially with green or blue eye looks. I think brown lips and blue eye looks or green eye looks just go so well together. I'm really in love with this look. So happy. I'm really happy with this look. But now let's jump into the second look with this palette. I'm so excited. Time for the second look. I'm so excited to use this palette, but I don't know what colors I want to use because I kind of want to do something very dramatic, but I also want to use these shades because I have to say I love those 2/3 of the palette. These 6 shades aren't, how do I say it? These are just not the shades I typically wear. And I kind of want to use them to get out of my comfort zone because by trying out something new, I can fall in love with other things than with what I typically do. You know what I mean? Does this make any sense? I don't know. I have to say, I really love this light pinky beigey pastel. I think that we have 3 pastel shades in this palette. Makes it so versatile. You can do very great all matte looks, and I really love that fact that we have these shades. But I really don't know what I want to do. I think I want to use this shade, and I want to use this shimmer, and I want to use this one to deepen it up. and then we will see what other shades we will use. I think that's a plan. We can use all 3 shimmers of this row, because I think these shimmers are very stunning, especially these 2, and I think this will make an amazing highlighter, because I love using shimmer shades as highlighter, but I've talked enough now. Let's just start with the look. We'll start with a really fluffy brush, and I will start with the deepest pink or mauve shade, just taking some and place it in the crease. I really love that we have this shade in the palette, because it again makes it very versatile and gives you the opportunity to make really deep looks, even though this is more like a pastel palette. So starting by putting this shade into the crease, and I didn't plan to bring it all the way in, but I did it now. I just have to go with it. Yeah, this applies beautifully. This is a stunning shade. Same shade on my very detailed brush for the lower lash line, and I just also put this shade on the lower lash line, and I also bring it all the way in. And then I start blending this out a little bit before going in with a transition shade. Blend this out even more. Now I'm taking this quite pastel-y pink right here to just blend this out even more. Even though, to be honest, I think the shade blended out so great that with a little bit more time just blending it on its own, I wouldn't have needed to bring in a transition shade, because it was so easy to blend. It was really easy to blend. It was almost no effort. This is the experience I always have with Nomad. I get very dramatic, very amazing looks with these palettes without having to put a lot of effort into them. It's just easy and quick, because the shadows are so well formulated that they do the work for you. That's just great. I think this already looks stunning, like a shimmer shade on the lid, maybe a black eyeliner, and this is a finished look, which is very soft, at least for me. But of course I have to add some drama, so we'll use this very deep purple shade. I'm taking it on a very small brush, and I'm putting this mainly in the outer corner, and I just start building this up, and then with some small circular motions I blend it into the crease like so. I really love this pink pastel shade that we used before, this one. It made it look so dusty now, and I love that. I love that. I would love to have this shade as a blush, because it's so dusty. This would look amazing as a blush, and I really love how dusty it made this entire look right now. I really love it. I thought maybe I want to re-intensify the deeper pink, but I don't know if I want to do that, because I love the dustiness and the kind of grayish undertone this look has right now. I really enjoy that. Maybe I just want to deepen this up, and yeah, that's it. We will see. We will see how I feel like when I apply this deep shade on both eyes and blended it in a little bit. I want to bring this deep shade into like the middle, and then with the same brush I just start blending the edges. I love this. This is how I love my purples, dusty. And I wouldn't have expected this, because like I've seen my friend Jenny from Miss J Boulay on Instagram. She used like all of these 3 colors I've used right now in one of her looks in quite the same way, I think, that I did. And I was wondering where did the pink go? I have the same question with my look right now. Where did the mauve deeper pink go? I think it just gives it a slight mauve undertone to this look, and I love that. I really love how these shades blended together and how they created this really dusty mauve purple look. It's really stunning. I really love that. Like, this is how I want my purples to look on me. It looks almost like a bruise. So I'm applying this shade in the very outer part of my lower lash line. I don't want to bring it in super far. I just want to give it that depth on the lower lash line as well, without being too much there. Going back in with some of the first shade we used, and I mainly put this in the inner part of my crease and blend it together with the deep purple. I just want to have a little bit more of the mauve pink. I don't know what is this color even. Like, is it a mauve? Is it a pink? I don't know. But I want a little bit more of this shade be visible, so I put this in the more front part. Yeah, I like that. To keep the dustiness in the outer corner, I will blend the deeper shade out with some of the pastel pink. Then we will see what shimmers we use. Okay, some of the pastel pink, and I just go around the edges of the deep purple. Maybe I have to use some of the deeper pink to properly blend this. I don't know. I tried with the pastel first. Okay, I think that looks good, and I really love how this turned out. Now it's time to use some shimmers. Yeah, I think I will use this one and this one. This one more in the outer part and this one more in the inner part. And I just will apply them with my finger. This one here in the middle, the lighter shade in the inner part. Really like that. Okay, now when we have applied the shimmer, I want to take a little bit more of the deepest shade, and I want to use this to blend the pink shimmer and this very deep purple shade in the outer corner together. Now I'm taking this light beige shade right here, and I use this as an inner corner highlight. Oh, I love this. It's like a light, almost white bone color shade. I love a shade like this as an inner corner highlight. To me, it's the perfect shade for an inner corner highlight, because it brightens your inner corner, but it's not too intense. I really enjoy a shade like this. I think a shade like this is very versatile in a palette and gives you a lot of options. Okay, I want to add some shimmer on my lower lash line, and I want to use this topper shade right here. I'm using this as a highlighter as well. Just take this because I want this to be quite soft. In the lower lash line, I'm using it on a small blending brush, and I just in the front part of the lower lash line dusting this on. I love that this has a blue shift to it, and I think especially with this dusty outer corner, this looks really good. Same shade, putting this on as a highlighter. This is a very pretty highlighter. I love this. Oh my god. This blue shift it has is just so gorgeous. Wow. This is the reason why I love using eyeshadow as a highlighter. It's just so much fun. I love that. Okay, so this is the finished look. Let me put my bangs a little bit aside so you can see. I like this look, but I'm gonna be totally honest, it's not my favorite look I've ever created. I think this is soft and romantic and very wearable, but for me it's a little bit too soft. I just wish it was a little bit more dramatic, but that's definitely a me issue. There's nothing wrong with the palette. I think I just should have built up the deeper shade a little bit more. Maybe I should have started with the deepest shade right here, because I've made the experience with Nomad shades that these shades don't build up amazingly. So the thing is, with Nomad, I mean, this gives you great versatility, I have to say. If you start with a mid-tone or a lighter shade with the Nomad palettes, and you build on top a deeper shade, they build on top. But the deeper shade always looks a lot lighter and softer. If you start with the deepest shade you want to use, it's always going to be a lot more dramatic with Nomad. And oh my god, my bangs are just so annoying. I don't like how my bangs look lately, and I just think they don't behave, and I'm just so annoyed, and I really want to grow them out to do more like a curtain bang. I think that would look great. But this is, I mean, look at that. Look how... This is so awful. Oh my god. Anyways, back to the palette. So this is really great that if you know the Nomad formula, you can really use it to your advantage and to make your palettes even more versatile than they are anyways. So I maybe should have started with the deepest shade first and then blend that out. I love this look. No, I don't love it. I like this look. I really like this look. I think it's pretty. I just like something more dramatic. And that's it. That's it. And I think especially these two shades, aren't my favorite eyeshadows in the world. I really do like the shimmers. I really do like these three shimmers, especially these two. This isn't my favorite. And I love these two pastel shades, especially this one. I'm already reviewing this palette and I'm maybe not supposed to do this at this point in the video, but I just wanted to let you know about my thoughts about the look, because this is a good look. I really like it and I definitely will enjoy wearing it. I hate my bangs. Oh my god. Okay. Calm down. I enjoy this look and I will enjoy wearing this for the rest of the day. I think I look pretty in this look, and this, I think, is all that matters. It's just not what I typically go for, and these are just not my favorite shades, and that's fine. That's fine. I think for liking this look, I have been gossiping a lot about it now, so let's just jump into the third and final look with the palette. Time for the third look, and I'm trying to incorporate all the shades I wasn't able to use yet. So this would be this one, these two shimmers, and this lilac green shimmer. I will start with the purple we also used in the last look. Taking this on a small brush, and I just start building this into the outer part of my lid. I really want this look to be very, very dramatic and very intense, so I'm starting with the deepest shade. Same shade, and I just put it on the lower lash line, and as I always do, I also bring it up a little bit to connect it with the eyelid. Then taking my small blending brush and just blend this on its own on my lower lash line and blend it together with the eyeshadow on the eyelid. I also feel like putting it on the lower lash line and then bringing it up, it's just helping as well with the shape of the eyeshadow. Like, it's so much easier to get it symmetrical and to get a nice shape if you do connect your lower lash line to the eyeshadow on your eyelid. Okay, looks fine. I think this is going to be one of these trust the process looks. I have a strong feeling it's one of these. Next, I'm going to use this mid-toned lilac shade. I use this in the front part of the crease and also to blend the deep shade out. I really like a shade like this because it's this purple shade, but it's very blue purple. And those are the purples I really enjoy because they're very blue leaning, and I love blues. I take this to blend out the deeper shade with. Yeah, this look is going to be very smoky. I just take some time blending these shades together and blend everything of this out. This is getting really, really smoky and I kind of like it. So I'm taking same mid-tone purple shade on the lower lash line and I just start blending there as well. I know I'm blending away a lot of the deeper shade we laid down first, and I'm covering up a lot of it, but we will get back in and re-intensify it. The thing is, if you start with the deepest shade, it will get very dramatic, and I want it very dramatic. I love a look like this, even though we still have to trust the process very much, because it's still in the works of looking great. But we will get there, we will get there. I started really liking this look. I have to say, this is very dramatic, very blown out, and we will definitely build up the depths again once we're done. And I just love this intense look. I will use the pastel blue to to blend this even more and to get it really smoked out and to get it really blended. After blending a lot, it's time to go back in with the deep shade we've used in the beginning. And I start in the outer corner, re-intensifying this shade there, and then I bring it up into the crease. I like that look. I like that, even though this is very intense. And even for me, who loves colorful makeup, this is very blown out and intense. But I love it. I really love it. We will definitely wear a big eyeliner with that look. I'm so impressed by this palette. Just really love it. Especially the row that I'm using right now. I really love that row. It's really good. I really love how these shades blend together and work together, because through blending out everything with a pastel blue, we gave everything that blue hue to it. Even the deep purple I'm blending out right now, it's turning into a very blue looking shade. It's almost looking like a deep blue. I really love how these shades blend and work together, because this makes every shade in this palette so versatile, and you can get so many different looks out of this palette, because everything blends and works together so nicely and creates new shade and new opportunities. I really enjoy the composition of this palette and the undertones and basically everything. I want to use the deep purple, and I want to put this all over the eyelid, so we get this deep base for the shimmers to go on top. Once I'm happy, I'm taking my small blending brush and just blend together everything. Just the final touch. I think there's not a lot to blend here, because we already did our work in the crease, but I still want everything to flow and blend together nicely. We definitely need more darkness on the lower lash line, so I'm just taking on my very detailed brush some of the deep purple, and I just very slightly applied there. This would be an amazing all matte look. Just pop something into the inner corner, lashes on, and you're good to go. I feel like a very powerful bad witch that tries to curse you. You know, I love that. I really love it, that I look like I made a pact with a demon. It's just so me. I really love this look so far. But now it's time for some shimmers, so I definitely want to use these two. And I think it just doesn't go with that look, so I'm not using this shade. It's the only shade I've used, but I'm sure I will use it in a Instagram reel or YouTube short. And I'm starting with this shade right here, and I'm putting this into the middle. Oh wow, isn't that beautiful, especially on the deep base. Wow, I love that. Okay, now the lighter shade, and I put this in the inner part. Also looking good, but the blue shimmer is definitely the star of the show. Definitely love that. I love that. And you know what, we will use the green. We will risk this look, and we will use the green in the inner corner. I think this pop of green makes it look even more evil. Now let's use the last shade we haven't used yet, and it's this green shimmer. I really hope that I don't ruin this look with this, but we are popping this right in here. Actually, we haven't used this shade as well, but I will not use this in this video. I really enjoy the contrast this green shimmer gives to the purple look, but it's a really subtle shimmer, subtle in a way, and that the color is very subtle. The shimmer is quite intense, but it's not as green as I would have thought, which is fine, which I think goes very well with the look, to be honest. We will see if I fuck this look up or if it elevates it even more. I want to do an eyeliner, and I want to do it in a way that I've never done an eyeliner before. Today I've seen a short from someone who recreated a e-girl makeup look, whatever an e-girl is. I don't know. This person, and I tried doing that on camera. This person started the eyeliner on the lower lash line and brought it up and then connected it to the lid. But I think I'm doing I think I'm doing it wrong, because I think my eyeliner is already looking in the wrong direction, because the eyeliner of this person was quite straight. I think I'm doing it wrong, but who cares? I'm just putting on a little bit of eyeliner on the lower lash line, and then like this I'm just connecting it and finish it up. I think that will look good. Listen, this got out of hand really quickly. I think it's the unwritten rule that the eyeliner has every time is coming out more intense and bigger and longer than you would have expected or wanted it to be. And in my case, more unsymmetrical than I wanted it to be, but that's fine. I want to use some of the deep shade, and I want to kind of blend this liner a little bit. Just putting that there and then blend it. I know that's cheating. Don't come for me. But I need a black eyeshadow, so I'm grabbing my New Zealand Stargazing palette by Nomad, and I just use this black to try to save this. I shouldn't have done the eyeliner. I just should have kept it the way it was, but at the same time, I think the eyeliner did nothing for the look, but I still like it. I don't know. I think it's a weird look, and I love a weird look. Okay, so here is the finished look. I mean, it's not my favorite look I've ever created, but I kind of like it. I think I've ruined a perfectly fine smoky eye with this eyeliner. I totally see that myself, but I kind of like it. It's just something different, and it's very intense and dramatic and dark, and that's why I put on this very deep black gray lip, and I love it. I just love deep and dramatic and goth-like looks lately. So this I actually really like this. Now let's zoom out and finish up the video. I think this is a very nice palette. I think this is a palette that I will grab if I need wearable everyday looks, but I still want to make it colorful. I love every single look that I've created with this palette. The quality, as always, Nomad quality is amazing. It's so good quality. All these looks were so easy to create. It's just such a blast to work with this formula every time I use it. And Nomad is just one of my favorite eyeshadow brands. I just love this palette. I just love it. The quality is amazing. The color story is, to be honest, even though this is not my favorite part of the palette, I think it makes this color story really cohesive, and you can, with these shades, you really can mute it down, and you really can make your looks quite wearable. This makes this palette so versatile, these two rows. I'm just in love. I really enjoy this palette. I really do. I enjoy the theming. I enjoy the packaging. Nomad always does such great things with their packaging. You just know that a lot of love and effort is put into every single palette they release, and I just love that. I just love it so much. This color story, I mean, of course, especially the greens and the blue, more cool tone purple speak to me a lot, because these are just my colors. But I love this palette. I just love this palette, and I just should shut up, because what else can I say? This is an amazing palette. The quality is stunning, as always. The only shade I didn't use is the dark green shimmer, which I'm sure is also really amazing, because the rest of the palette is. Please let me know which look was your favorite. My favorite, I think, was the first one. I just love that. I just love a matte look, even though it wasn't quite all matte, because I had some shimmers. I really enjoyed the first look the most, but as I said, I loved all three of them. So please let me know which one was your favorite, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It would help me out a lot, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!